more kids than they can afford.
Here you have the shooter signaling to someone else saying, 5 minutes until the shot. And look carefully who is watching the signal. Watch again.
And I think it's time for Mormons.
Here the man in the blue shirt turns on his video glasses. I only know this because I have the same glasses. A minute later, he signals 4-minute mark.
This country.
Here he looks over to see if Tyler Robinson is on the roof in position, then fixes the detonator on his left shoulder bicep. Look carefully at the bulge on his shoulder.
Around the world, I love how polite you are. I have my team is Mormon. Terrell's a Mormon, Andrew's a Mormon. Mormons are great. So everything I say, everybody, I'm an evangelical Christian.
The assassin now points his watch outwards and tells everyone to watch the time.
To see this one here, this is a lot closer. See, that's way closer. Now, I want y'all to peep this in case y'all didn't see it. Let's go. You can see them taking something off of him. You see them scrambling and scraping, trying to pull something off of him. I believe this is moving in slow motion here. Oh, you see that? Boom. He handed him something. He handed him something. So it wasn't, I thought it was the guy with the plaid, but it's the guy on the ground. It's the guy on the ground that handed it to him. It's the guy on the ground that...
Look at his face, man. Look at that guy's face. Does Bull just got his head blown off? Or does this look like someone who's been in the middle, they're in the middle of something that they've done, you know what I mean? Like, this is just like par for the course. Calm as cucumbers, dude. Like, no concerns about anything at all.
Handed him. No diddy. No diddy. Yeah, they smiling and everything. Like this is all staged. Yeah, look at them. Why are they smiling?
Let's look at this. Let's watch some 30-06 ballistics, and then I'm going to wrap this thing.
Loaded up again with Hornady Precision Hunter, and these are 30-06 178 grain. Here we go. So we had quite the hit with the 30-06, and we had some interesting results. We actually have our jacket laying right here on the table, and that thing is pretty hot. And if we look at our blocks right here, you can see that the 30-06 actually dumped most of its energy within the first 10 inches of this block, and then it started to break up. We have a few pieces of lead here in the second block, but that bullet as a whole pretty much broke up, and the only thing that came out was the jacket. So within the first 10...
What can you say to this you have just... Every lie leaves a trace, and every trace eventually leads back to the truth. For months, the story surrounding Charlie Kirk's inner circle has been carefully packaged, tied up neatly, and sold to the public as fact. But tonight, newly released camera footage doesn't just reopen the case, it explodes it. A guard arrested, a young man Tyler Robinson caught in the storm, and an official narrative now crumbling under the weight of its own contradictions. This isn't just about one crime. This is about truth versus deception, justice versus silence, and about a system willing to use innocent people as pawns in a game far bigger than we ever imagined. Before we unravel this story, I need you to do something powerful. Subscribe, because every click is a stand against corruption. Share, because silence is how lies survive. Comment truth, so the algorithm can't bury this investigation. Join this community of truth seekers because together, we are stronger than the lies. And most importantly, stay until the end, because the last unanswered question will haunt you. This is the story of Charlie Kirk's guard, Tyler Robinson, and the footage that changes everything. According to official reports, the night unfolded like this. Charlie Kirk's security detail intercepted a threat. Tensions escalated. A confrontation broke out. And in the chaos, Tyler Robinson was painted as the face of danger. The media repeated it. The public consumed it. And almost instantly, Robinson's name was dragged into headlines worldwide. But here's the problem. None of it fits. Witnesses claim the times don't add up. Surveillance footage contradicts police statements. And the so-called official story has more holes than answers. So we have to ask, if Tyler Robinson wasn't the real threat, who was? Let's look closer at the people who should have been protecting the truth. Security officers changing their statements. Officials releasing press notes, then deleting them hours later. And one guard reportedly arrested not for bravery, but for something far darker. Their timelines don't match. Their reactions don't make sense. And their silence speaks louder than any words. Was this chaos? Or was it choreography? The footage suggests behavior too precise, too staged to be coincidence. Family members who refused to speak out. Close friends who suddenly disappeared offline. Entire accounts wiped clean as though erasing digital fingerprints. And Tyler? His own relatives. Distant, silent, almost as if someone told them to be. When you map the connections, the cover-up doesn't look random. It looks intentional. Who benefits from erasing Tyler's support system? Now we move to the shadows figures who appeared on camera, but were never identified. Unknown men in dark jackets. A woman seen near the restricted area seconds before the chaos. Foreign license plates caught in the parking lot surveillance. Cross-referencing their presence with social media? Check-ins paints a chilling pattern. They weren't supposed to be there. And the critical question is this: why were they even here? And why has no one in any official report even acknowledged them? Sometimes, the truth isn't buried under mountains of deception. Sometimes, it's hidden in the little lies. Officials claimed the footage started after the confrontation, but newly released video shows it captured before, proving they knew more than they admitted. A guard claimed he was in one location. GPS says otherwise. A press release mentioned one weapon. Forensics suggest another. Small lies, but together they form a mosaic, a picture of something much bigger being hidden. Follow the threads far enough and they stretch across borders. According to leaked documents, one of the unidentified strangers had ties to an international organization with deep political interests. Another appeared in social media photos at foreign conferences just weeks prior. This isn't just a domestic scandal. It is a global one, and here's where you come in. If you recognize these faces, if you've seen these people in your country, we need your help. Comment, share, spread this footage worldwide. Because justice for Tyler Robinson doesn't just depend on one nation, it depends on all of us. And what about the officials who promised transparency? One detective promoted immediately after the case. Another with a hidden history of complaints. Political figures brushing off questions, shifting blame, avoiding eye contact when asked about Tyler Robinson. When those sworn to uphold justice start hiding, it's not incompetence, it's complicity. So many questions remain unanswered. Why was Robinson rushed to the wrong hospital? Why was the ambulance delayed, then untraceable? Why were leadership positions shuffled the day after? Why do timelines shift every time new footage surfaces? And most haunting of all, if Robinson wasn't the threat, why was he the target? Here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. If the evidence doesn't match the story, then someone is lying. And if Robinson wasn't the danger, then who pulled the strings? Who pulled the trigger? This case is no longer about one man's innocence. It's about whether truth can survive in a world built on silence. Stand with us. Subscribe to this channel. Become part of a movement that refuses to accept lies. Comment justice if you believe Tyler Robinson deserves the truth. Share this video because the more people know, the harder it becomes to bury. Together, we are the light in the darkness, and darkness cannot win forever.